Salam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead, Salam.
Salam, brothers and sisters. I have the honor and privilege to introduce our speaker, Brother Jimmy Patel. Brother Jimmy Patel was born in Nargal, Gujarat, India, to a Zoroastrian parents, Kumi and Keki Patel. Early in his life, his father was fortunate to meet his guru, Sri Bhagwat, who was a staunch devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba. Brother Jimmy's father took him to Sri Bhagwat from the tender age of 5. As years went by, Brother Jimmy was able to witness both his father and his guru in deep samadhi. One day, his father read in the Illustrated Weekly of India, an English magazine in India, that Shirdi Baba had reincarnated as Satya Sai Baba, and he asked Jimmy to have his darshan. Brother Jimmy's first darshan of Satya Sai Baba was when he was only 15. Bhagwan was then only 38. Brother Jimmy was fortunate to have 5 interviews with Bhagwan and also had flown in the same plane with Swami on at least 4 to 5 flights. Swami has twice given Brother Jimmy concrete physical darshan in the Satya Sai form, and on 4 occasions concrete darshan as Shirdi Sai Baba. Yet Brother Jimmy feels he is only a fellow pilgrim like all Sai devotees and is working on his own evolution as best as he can. On a personal front, I have known Uncle since I was a child. He was one of my SSC gurus, where he would teach us many things about Swami, including his bhajans. He has an amazingly sweet voice, whether he is singing or speaking. He has also been a part of my Swami's dreams, where he was essentially the role of a mentor and guide for me. We are lucky and fortunate indeed to have an elevated divine soul speaking with us today. He will be sharing his experiences with Swami. Please welcome Brother Jimmy Patel.
I take the privilege to invoke beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba and the masters and rishis of India to bless this gathering and work through me to give the message of self-realization to all truth-thirsty souls. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. Sai Baba is watching over us. We are here to sing his sweet name. Let the light of your glory shine on us. Bless us all with your presence, Gurudev. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. No more sorrow, no more tear, no more death. Sai, banish the darkness with your light. We are born in the golden age of Sai. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. My sincere pranams at the silken lotus feet of our mother, father, friend, and beloved God, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Also my humble obeisances to the Divine Mother, Srimati Ishwaramma, whom the God of gods, Satya Sai Baba, chose as his mother on the earth stage. My sincere Sai Rams and thanks also for the president of Buffalo Sai Center, Suresh Ramalingam, and the vice president, Saurav Saptarishi, and to our very own beloved devotion coordinator, Tamish Bagga. Also, my sincere sairams to the president of Rochester Sai Center for giving me this opportunity, Sri Vijay Krishnamurthy, Vice President Biplab Bishwas, and to their devotion coordinator, Sai Mandava. Along with that, my sincere sairams to all the Balavikas, all the students, youth, young adults, teachers, and elders in both your Sai centers. And my sincere sairams to my sisters and brothers and nieces and nephews in Detroit, in Cleveland, in Virginia, in Windsor, in Bell River, in Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, and also in the divine sacred islands of Trinidad and Tobago. Om Shri Sai Ram. I'm humbled by this opportunity that you have given me to offer my experiences at the lotus feet of our mother, father, friend, and beloved God, who is everywhere at all times. Each time I narrate my experiences, I'm transported to Vaikuntha, or Golapali, our beautiful Puttaparthi as we call it, that our beloved Lord decided to declare his mission on earth. Now, Shravanam, or listening to the glories of God, is held at the highest, as the highest by Bhagwan Baba, and also in the scriptures of various religions of the world. And so I pray and hope that you can hear my experiences and partake of his divine love and his glory and his infinite mercy in the proper spirit as given to this body. Let me declare, like Kamish earlier said, I am only a fellow pilgrim, just like you all, trying to work out my karmas of many lives so that I can attain the lotus feet of my beloved, most beautiful Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. As Tamish explained to you, my parents were Zoroastrians and very spiritual. And my father lost his wealth in just half an hour. He was a multimillionaire. Robbery took place and nothing was recorded. So that suffering brought his guru, Bhagavad, in his life. And his guru told him that it is only karmic retribution that he had to go through, not to worry. I'm going to introduce you to the highest wealth, Shirdi Sai Baba. At that time, my father worshipped only Aura Mazda. And my mother too, they were staunch believers in the Zoroastrian faith. They were till their last breath too. And my parents would take me to Shirdi regularly, sometimes twice, thrice a year. And whenever I was in trouble, I would close my eyes as a child and just visualize Shirdi Baba. And lo and behold, my heart felt light. All my problems would vanish. Shirdi Baba was my everything, is my everything. Once my father was riding his bicycle to work. He used to ride his bicycle 5 miles one way to work. And as he stopped at a red light, on the right side near the pole, he saw Shirdi Baba live. So he dropped his bicycle and he got hurt, but he grabbed the actual physical feet of Shirdi Baba. But because he shouted Baba through his emotion, the physical body became ethereal and merged in the light. And my father said he cried pathetically. He didn't go to work that day, came back home, narrated the experience to my mother and to myself. So now what happens is my father reads suddenly a magazine called the Illustrated Weekly of India. And in that it says, I am God, I have come to save the world. And that was Satya Sai Baba. And to me, he looked like a movie star. He was very handsome. And I thought in my mind, how can this personality be a spiritual guru or God or reincarnation of Shirdi Baba? So I told my father, I can't sell my loyalty like that. I belong to Shirdi Baba. Then my father said, try to understand, son. This is the same energy, same incarnation of Shirdi Baba come in the human form of Satya Sai Baba. And so you must not judge him like that. I said, but I can't sell my loyalty. Like, look, I'm sold to Sai Baba or Shirdi. He said, you want to go to Canada, right? I said, yes. So he said, why don't you go and see him? He's coming to Pune and the Jamnagar Palace. And don't open your mouth, keep it zip locked, and he'll read your mind. And then you mentally ask him, I want to go to Canada, can you help me? I said, wow, that's good. If he can read my mind, then I'll accept you, Shirdi Baba. So my first darshan, my heart was beating like an accordion. I didn't know why I was scared. And the first time the doors opened, I saw Satya Sai Baba, and I was mesmerized. And sure enough, Baba came around, saw everybody, came and stood right in front of this body, and he was giving me heaven. I mean the opposite. He was angry, and he was speaking in Telugu. Good thing I didn't know the language because it was something very harsh. And I said, what have I done? Why is he scolding me for if he's Shirdi Baba, was he that angry? And then he suddenly starts laughing like that. And I said, my God, he's laughing and he's angry. Let me ask him. Then I had the audacity and the nerve to ask him, can you read my mind? And so he started laughing and said, okay, go ahead. So I just joined my hand and I said, if you are really Shirdi Baba, can you help me to go to Canada? That's all I want. I need your blessing. Are you Shirdi Baba? And I opened my eyes and he was laughing and he touched me. He says, yes, Acha, you'll go. And lo and behold, this is why I believe that Satya Sai Baba is the reincarnation of Shirdi Baba and God in human form. After he said, Acha, you'll go, I was shoveling snow in Canada in no time. And when I came to Canada, I forgot my Swami. I started to mingle in the Canadian society, and I like the sensory pleasures. You tend to forget in this delusive world. And so what happened was my sister died in a car crash, and that was his calling card. The moment my sister died, immediately my heart cried. I couldn't control my pain. And I immediately closed my eyes and said, Satya Sai Baba, I forgot you. My apologies. I lost you in this world of delusion. But please take away this pain and I promise you I'll give up this world for you. I said that. And as I said that, I had a deep sense of joy. And I was very, very happy that Swami had heard, because I felt that joy coming in my heart. And I knew that Swami had answered my prayer. And suddenly I became very strong and I started going to Sai Baba Center of Windsor. I met many good people there, Mr. and Mrs. Channa and Dr. Singh and all of those people, amazing, and many more. And I can name forever. That's where my spirituality really started. And I started praying to Baba, and Baba started coming in my dreams. And he would come and he would say, give me some food. So in those days, I was eating macaroni and cheese. I didn't know what healthy food was. And he said, Chichi, I don't like this. And he selected a bhaji that I had cooked. And he ate it. And he ate it with relish. And then all of a sudden he said, Jimmy, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Jimmy, your future is very good. And the vision ended. And I wrote it down. I generally record my visions. And 27 was the age when I got married. And truly, marriage is a spiritual platform. And the woman that was my life partner helped me immensely. She was literally my teacher. And she helped me immensely, and I really love her. And this was Baba's blessing to me. But I tell you, without marriage, a man remains a boy and a woman remains a girl. marriage helps us give up our selfishness and takes us into selflessness, where we start feeling for others instead of ourselves. And especially when we have an extra addition like children, then we give up our sleep also, because you don't need an alarm then. You just wake up when they wake up. So like that, Swami helped me immensely through my marriage. Now, what happened was, I'm gonna go back forward a little bit and then come back. I'll tell you what happened. One time, I had a dream that there is a shed, there's a Lord Krishna statue, and there is a goddess playing veena. And I'm sitting with devotees, and Baba is coming. As Baba comes, he looks at me and he says, "Where are you from?" I said, "Swami, I'm from you. Baba, I'm from you." He said, "I know that, but which country?" I said, "Swami, Canada. Will you see me?" So he says, "Yes, yes, don't worry. I bless you. I'll see you." And as he passes, I'm crying, and the volunteer in the dream touches me and says, "Don't worry, he'll see you." Oh my God, it was so vivid. I woke up, I wrote it down, and I was there. I was literally there. So then finally what happened was, 3 months later, we were going to Puttaparthi with Dr. and Mrs. Singh. I was in that room with Mr. and Mrs. Patel from Windsor. And my first main darshan, I was sitting, it was about 5 to 3, and the wind was blowing, and my eye falls on the, we were in Whitefield, and my eye falls on that goddess playing veena. And then I saw, this is the shed. I've been here before. Then the dream came to me, oh my God, is Baba gonna see me, talk to me? Baba started coming, 3 o'clock. The music went, Swami comes out, and then he goes around and he comes to me, and this is exactly what he asked me. "Where are you from?" I said, Swami, I'm from you. Baba, I'm from you, Swami. Will you see me? He says, yes, yes, don't worry, I'll see you. As Baba passes by, I'm crying, and guess what? The volunteer was there. He touches me, he said, don't worry, he'll see you. And next day, we had an interview, 1 hour and 45 minutes with Bhagawan. In those days, I had an accident. I used to do bodybuilding and weightlifting, so I had an accident, and I used to have a lot of pain in my back for 5 years. So naturally, the pain was unbearable. So now I'm reverting back. As I'm sleeping in Windsor, Ontario, my poor wife, she was doing everything, and I felt very bad that Zareen, she's a goddess. She used to do everything for me when I couldn't do anything and I was in pain. So at night I was crying. I said, Swami, please take me away. This is no way to live. I don't want to live. The pain is unbearable. 5 years I've suffered now. As I said that, I saw Swami right in front of me on the right. He was going like that. I said, Baba. And he went like that, and he threw something, and it hit my knee and it fell down. He said, pick it up and eat it. I said, what, Swami, what? Pick it up. I go, my hand goes to a piece of coconut, and I'm eating. I'm chewing coconut live. Now I'm out of that subconscious sleep. And I said, Swami, and he's gone. And I turned the light on, Bhagawan is gone. Immediately I decide to go to Whitefield. And that's just before that, he gave me this dream. Where are you from? And in reality, it happened that he said, where are you from? And we had the interview. Now, but because I was still in pain, I used to sit on a small chair. But in the interview room, I said, I won't sit near in Baba's presence on a chair. Excuse me. So I sat down, even though I was in pain. And Baba comes last in the interview room. And then when he comes in, he shuts the door and he talks to people, and then he looks at me straight at mine. And he came straight to me. He says, Tabiyat kaisa hai? Means, how is your health? Swami, I'm fine. He said, hey, pagal means mad. You have back pain, right? I said, oh yes, Swami, you forget pain when you see this beautiful avatar before you. I had no pain when I was sitting near him. And then all of a sudden he says, your spinal column is okay. You have muscle spasms. Exactly what the doctors in Canada said. You have muscle spasm because I used to lift heavy weights. And Swami cure you now. And Baba went like that. And he created this pendant for me. And I was instantly healed. He said, I have cured you now. Then he went, started talking to somebody else. And then he came back and he materialized vibhuti for me. And he said, eat it, because he knew I like to share it. He said, eat it. So I ate it. That was medicine for me. Then he went and he came back again and he materialized vibhuti and put it on my spiritual eye. So while I'm going outside, leaving in the last, taking Pad Namaskar, everybody leaves. I touched his feet and I said, Swami, please, can I tell you something? He said, go ahead. I said, Swami, remember, in 1963, when I first met you, you were only 38 years old. And I was so foolish to ask you that I want to go to Canada. That was a mistake. I said, Swami, the Maya in Canada is terrible. Please help me. I want to stay at your feet. So he went like that to the students that were sitting there. This guy is crazy. So I said, wow. And then suddenly he said, it's okay. He's crazy for God. He's crazy for me. It's okay. And he smiled and he blessed me. So I touched his feet and I exited. In the afternoon darshan, you know, the monkey mind, I said, maybe I need my chair. He said he cured me, but what if the pain comes back? As soon as I said that, 5 minutes before 3 o'clock, Baba's door opens. At that time, there was a cottage. Baba's door opens and what comes out is a volunteer. And he comes and he says, you're not supposed to sit on a chair. Baba has healed you. If it was the early 60s, this was 79, but if it was the early 60s, my ego would have gone out of proportion and I'd probably tell him, why don't you mind your business? But I saw him coming directly from Baba's bungalow, so I didn't want to do that. I said, I'm sorry, sir. First time my humility struck a chord in me, and when I said, sorry, sir, to a sevada. And I sat down, and never did I sit in a chair after that. Until, of course, lately I was playing tennis and I hurt my knees and then I had surgery. But before that, for 20, 30 years, Baba had completely healed me. That pain was gone that I had for half the night, 5 years, it was all gone. See, that is why I know that Sai Baba is God. One time, Swami called me in an interview and he was giving me a thrashing. He said, you are nothing but trouble. And I looked, I said, is he talking to me? He says, you, there was nobody in the interview. And he says, you're nothing but trouble, trouble, trouble. So when he became very serious, my heart started beating. And by golly, at that time, I would have needed my doctor, Shastri Maharaj, the best doctor on planet Earth, great devotee, my friend. And, but he was not there. So I just had the guts to touch his feet. And I said, when did I trouble you? I asked him like a friend. He says, you're always disturbing me, always troubling me. I said, when did I disturb you, Swami? I love you. He says, you're always praying. I don't like my job. I don't like my job. I said, I know. In my mind, I said, what is he saying? I had a 25-year-old job, and it was the best job on the planet Earth. And then he says, you're always praying. I don't like my job, don't like my job. And then he blesses me, interview is over. I said, what was that all about? When I go back to Canada, after 3 months, I lose the best job I had. And they put me on a midnight shift. On the first day, I'm tying my shoelaces, I fall asleep, and I get 3 days off. So now I'm praying, Baba, why did you do this? Why did you take my job away? I prayed like that for 3 months. He must have definitely needed a Tylenol, because that's why he said that 3 months in advance. You're praying, you're disturbing me. I don't like this job. Why did you do that to me? Give me a better job. Then I realized, oh my God, if this is not divinity, he's so humble. He doesn't say, I predict you'll lose your job. So this is the beauty of God in human form. He plays with you. He never takes any credit, never boasts. But everything he says comes true 100%. once Baba humbles me, humbles my ego. We'd gone on a trip, me, my mother, my wife, Zareen, and our daughter, Firoza. And she was only about 10 months or 12 months old. And so we were going for our discourse of Baba in the hostel in Prashanti Nilaya. And as we are going, you know, the sun was strong. Sorry. And in Puttaparthi, the sun goes down very fast. While we are walking, there's a big hole. In that were sharp stones. And immediately Zareen says, hey, make sure you don't fall in that hole. And she laughs. And then my ego says, it's stupid written on my face. She said, no, I'm just telling you, be careful. And she laughed it. But see, this is what happens. We reached the discourse and Swami had not come yet. But what happened was, all of a sudden, my wife says, I forgot the bottle of milk for our daughter. Can you go get it? I said, but that's in the ashram. Please get it. So I run huff and my puff. I'm running and running. I get the bottle, and by the time I come, the Puttaparthi sun had gone down. And guess what? I fall in that same hole. And I heard my bones break completely. I'm in pain, excruciating pain. And I'm screaming, nobody's there. And I said, Swami, help. I didn't want to miss the discourse. Neither did I want to not give the bottle. So I struggle and get out, and it's excruciating pain. I limp my way very slowly, and I reach and I give the bottle. Swami had come already. Swami sees me, and mentally I send him to my spiritual eye, transmit a message saying, Swami, I'm in intense pain. I fell in that hole. Sorry, Swami. I know you're trying to teach me that you are in all forms. So I'm telling all husbands, when your wife tells you something, please listen. Please listen, because Baba has become wife, husband, children, mother-in-law, friend, enemy, pets, all relationships. It's all only one side. There was no one to know who I was. And then I vibrated into a grosser vibration and became Prakriti. Through Prakriti, I created all forms, and I placed myself in everyone. And then whole universe started. So, but we get caught in Maya and delusion. How can she know what is the truth? You see, we doubt our wives or sometimes our mothers, our father. But see, that's why we have to be very humble, because Swami can push our buttons. When we are going through this play, we won't know it's a play. So only when it's over, then you say, oh my God, I hope I passed. You see? So we are all instruments. We are all actors. We should not be attached to our roles. When a movie star goes, hugs his wife and says, I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to play the hero and dance with another woman, but I still love you. He plays the role, but he never gets attached. He never gets attached to the role. Because if he does, then there'll be trouble. Because he knows his beloved is waiting for him. So what happens is, just like that, we are playing roles with our wives. They're the movie star, we are the movie star, but our beloved is Sai, waiting for us. If we don't get attached to our roles, even in this mundane dream world, my wife, my children, nothing is ours. Everybody comes with a departure date. Nobody can stop that. Enjoy them 100%, but always know in the back of your mind, they don't belong to me. They belong to Swami. Once Baba calls me in the interview room, and again, generally he has given me help, always heaven or hell. He said, you're talking too much. I said, Swami, when did I talk too much? I only talk about you, and I never did talk to too many people. I've taken my sadhana so seriously, I never talked to too many people. And I'll tell you that again, in this picture, like what happened was Swami had created the pendant and had said, whenever you need me, call me. So I was at a wedding in the old Prashanti Nilayam. And there I was able to mentally, I used to generally transmit my message to Swami through my spiritual eye. And I said, Swami, I want only you. I want only you. I don't want the world, I want only you. And then next slide will show you, and the next slide will show you when I said that, still backwards. There are three pictures. Yeah, this one. When I said, Swami, I want only you, look at his expression. And it clearly told me, you don't know what you're asking for. You're going to burn. That's how he looked at me. And he looked at me straight in my eyes. You want me, but you're going to burn. So when you want God, don't be scared. The material world will recede. But the material world is temporary. It's only a play. It's only when we get into the I-ness and my-ness that we lose his I-ness. She's mine, he's mine, nobody is ours. Only God is ours. So now coming back to the interview room where he's giving me a real good heavenly talk. He said, sorry. He says to me, you talk too much. I said, Swami, when did I talk too much? He says, you don't talk, zip your lip. I said, but Swami, I talk only about you. He says, from today, I don't want you to talk about me. I says, please, Swami, don't take that away. It gives me great joy to tell your devotees how beautiful you are. Don't do that. He said, no more talking. The interview is over. I go to all retreats everywhere. And people ask me, can you give your experiences? I don't say anything. I don't say anything. And the only reason is because Swami told me not to talk, and it was killing me. I was listening to people. Now, it took 10 years of silence for me to go within, and that's what he wanted. After 10 years, I go to Puttaparthi, and after a discourse, our beloved Sri Anil Kumar, Professor Anil Kumar, messenger of Bhagavan for us, he announced with Baba's, Baba telling him to announce that all Westerners will go to Shed 30 and will give their experiences with Baba. So immediately I said, but yeah, he doesn't want me to talk. I said, wait a minute. He said, Westerner, I have a Canadian passport. Did he mean me? Oh, no. He said, no, so I'm not talking. I went to the shed. One by one, the Westerners were talking. And inside I said, that's not even 1/10 of your glory. And Swami, I know so much about your beauty and your glory and your majesty, and you won't let me talk. It's okay, I won't talk. I'm listening, and I'm sad inside. And suddenly, from inside, clearly, Swami said, talk now. And I said, wait a minute. I'm thinking, that could be my ego. It's not Swami. He told me not to talk. So I didn't do anything. After a while, they're talking, and then suddenly he says, talk now. So I closed my eyes and I said, no way. This could be my ego. Swami, is that you? After a while, talk now. Then I said, Swami, if this is you, then that garland on Shirdi Baba should fall. We are in the shed now. Big garland. And I looked down and one side fell. I said, no, I have to see it, Swami. Then I believe it's not my ego, it's you telling me to talk. Both sides fell. And I said, oh my God. Swami, thank you. Swami, thank you. Swami, thank you, because I can't live. I can't live without talking about you. How beautiful you are. And then Dr. Phil Harvey from St. Louis, he was in the shed and heard my talk. And he said, Jim, you were better than yourself. What happened? You never spoke. I said, Dr. Harvey, that wasn't me, that was myself. Baba told me to speak. And from that time, Swami, even after I got interviews, he never stopped me. He let me talk about his glory. But what he wanted me to do was wait and gather experiences. And then when you have some substance and some proper experiences, convey the truth and people will be receptive to you. Because it's not coming from you, but it's coming from the Baba in you. And Baba always comes big time. Even when I sing bhajans, I say, Swami, sing through me, because if I sing, people will not even listen or like it. And he always comes big time when I sing or when I offer my talks to my Swami. Once I did not get a send-off bless. Generally, when I leave, Puttaparthi Swami always blesses me, and I said, Swami, I'm leaving, and he'd smile, bless. And I was very sad that I had to go to Bangalore now. And this trip, I didn't get that blessing. So I go to Bangalore, and next day I have to fly to Mumbai, because in 2 days I fly back to Canada. So I take a flight in the evening. It was afternoon, I believe. And I land in Mumbai, and as I come out of the plane, there are people with artis and thalis and everything. I said, my God, who's the saint? Who could the saint be? So I asked one lady, I said, who's coming? She said, Satya Sai Baba. I said, but I saw him day before yesterday. Yeah, he suddenly is coming here to Bombay. I said, oh my God, my poor relatives. I stayed 4 months with Baba, and they're gonna say, now even that 2 days you were gonna stay, you didn't stay with us. So I said, I'm sorry, Baba is my everything. And I went, put my luggage somewhere, and I went straight to Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium in Mumbai. Oh, about 20,000 people, maybe more, I don't know how much. And the crowds had overspilled. And I went to the front and I told the Sevadar, sir, I'm from Canada, and I want to see him, I'm leaving. He says, sir, leave please, there's no room. He was very curt. He said, no, there's no room, you have to go. So immediately I said, Swami, you brought me all this place. So far you brought me, Swami, and now you won't let me come close to you. You didn't even give me a blessing, Swami. I wanted your touch and your blessings. Lo and behold, one Sevadal comes, he said, I've seen you at Dharmakshetra. Why don't you come with me? So I said, oh my God. See, he immediately listens. And he took me around, but it was a very corner spot. Swami was like about a block away, and 20,000 people. But I still started calling him from my spiritual eye and my heart. Swami, you didn't bless me. Please, you couldn't have come for any other reason. Please bless me, Swami. I want your touch, and then I can go to Canada and do my duty, Swami. Please come. Swami came round. It took about 25 minutes. Then he came, he looked at me. He came to me, he looked at me, and he says, I bless you. And he put my cheek, and he says, I bless you. And he went, and I was crying and crying and crying that the Lord of the universe hears our prayers. Not to your good, whether we sin or not, he still loves us. He's not interested in our faults because we have many faults. And he's very sorry we have faults because this is a dark Kali age. And in the Kali age, even saints fall. So what about Jimmy Patel? And I prayed like that. And Baba blessed me immensely. And I went back and I was very, very happy that Swami had blessed me. On one trip, Swami was giving me a lot of attention. He would come, touch me, hi, how are you, and bless me. And then a thought came to me that if Swami is giving me so much attention, is it possible that I could lose interest in him? Just a thought. And that thought became a powerful force. And I wrote to Baba, Swami, if you give me attention, then I might forget you. And I gave him the letter. I don't know why I opened my mouth. He took the letter like that, and he went. From that day, for 3 weeks, he didn't even look at me as though I didn't exist on the planet Earth. And I was missing that. I said, me and my big mouth, why did I even say that? I miss your attention, Swami, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's my ego, but I want to see you smile at me and not just walk away. 3 weeks of ignoring, it's like you burned. And Swami has burned a lot of people that his expression was just like that. This was in Madras. Somebody brought this to Dr. Shastri Maharaj's place from Puttaparthi. It was in Chennai. And Dr. Shastri Maharaj said, oh, that's Jim, and I'll give it to him as a gift. So this picture was given to me by my beloved Dr. Shastri Maharaj. So then what happened was, all of a sudden, I lost my train of thought. But
You're talking
yeah,
about.
so he was, so he took for 3 weeks, he ignored me totally. And one day I was very sad. We were in Whitefield, and I just finished in a small canteen opposite the hostel or opposite the college, my lunch. And I came out and I was talking to a handicapped guy. I was giving him comfort. Don't worry, Baba loves you. Baba loves us all. As I'm looking towards the road, blue Fiat was coming. And in the back, I saw that halo, shock of hair. And I said, that's Swami, but it's not his car. And guess what? I had just given him a letter, Swami, I miss your attention. Please don't do that to me. I made a mistake. Please, I want you to smile at me. He came, he rolled his window down, stopping there. He said, hi, hi, like an English hi. And his car drove. I said, oh my God. And then he started looking at me, smiling at me, you know. So this is the way God plays with you. But believe me, that doesn't mean you are so great a devotee. Your ego should not go out of proportion. I still have my faults, but I have offered them to Baba. When you offer your faults, then when you can say, I'm not the doer. Because you sincerely must really want not to do wrong things. And when good people cannot help but do wrong things because of the dark Kali age, you can say, Swami, I'm not the doer. Please think through me, feel through me, do through me, but free me. Do everything through me. That is how he works. And that is how Swami wants us. Because we have to pray, Swami. Swami says, it is I who made you walk, talk, think, and act. So he made me walk, he made me talk, he made me think. He shows you those things that you might have had a desire that you don't like. And as your consciousness becomes pure, you don't like it at all. So he's the doer, because we forget, and he brings it into the world and makes it do those things that we will one day regret it. And we hate ourselves when we keep doing those faults. And it says, Swami, you're the doer. Think through me, feel through me, do through me. But free me, Swami, free me. Deliver me from evil. Free me from temptation. Swami, please, don't do this to me. I am yours. And Swami says, when this I will die, then you will know that you are one with Sai. This I is the ego that feels I am a sinner. I'm not a sinner. I may sin, but I'm a Pavitra Atma. And I will get out of this mess because God will help me, take me out of the mess. Once it was my last day on, okay, I'll talk first about this slide, you know. Before that, you can see that gentleman next to me is a Swedish guy, very fair and tall, 6'4". And before Swami came out, this was in the morning, 5 o'clock, he tells me, I was staying with him in the hotel. So he tells me, you know, Jim, I'm leaving. Baba doesn't even look at me. So it's hopeless, I'm leaving. I said, my friend, don't say that. Baba will see you today and he will give me vibhuti because I don't feel that great. He said, what are you talking about? How do you know he's going to see me? How do you know he's going to give you vibhuti? And I said, I feel it in the marrow of my bones, in the core of my heart. I've never been wrong. So Baba comes, 7 o'clock. He comes to him first, that Swedish man. And he says, when are you leaving? Oh, Swami, I'm leaving tomorrow. Will you see me? Yes, yes, I'll see you. Don't worry, he said. And then he comes to me and he materializes vibhuti. And that picture is caught. I am taking vibhuti and taking his pad namaskar. And the guy was shocked beyond belief that 2 hours prior, you told me he will see me, he'll talk to me, and he'll give you vibhuti. And that's exactly what happened. But I give all the credit to Baba. Look, we are nothing. We are nothing. We can't even talk or think without him because he has become us. Sai has become all of us now. Sai has become God. We are gods. And he says, now you be Sai. How are you going to live? Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. Those should be your shields. Truth is, that you are God. Abide by that truth. One trip I was leaving Puttaparthi and I didn't get the first row. Generally, I used to get first row whenever on my last day. So this time I got second row. I was very sad. And I'm praying to my eye and my heart. I'm transmitting a message to him continuously. You have to talk to him in order for you to attract Swami to come to you. And Swami, I got second row. I wish I had the first row. Swami, I want to be close to you. Have your Padnamaskar. Swami, have your blessings and then go. Oh, Swami, now I only have second row. See, in those days, second row was, oh. Now we have 50th row. Still we love it. So suddenly, Swami had not come out. And from the other side, one young boy comes running to me. He says, sir, you're leaving today. How did he know? I said, I don't care. Yes. He said, sir, I'm sitting in the first row. Why don't you go sit there and I'll sit here? Oh my God. This is how Baba works. Omniscient, all-knowing, and he plays with you. What happens? I get first row and I'm thanking now from my spiritual. I thank you, Swami. You're so kind. You're an ocean of compassion. You're so just. You heard my prayer. Guess what? He heard my prayer all right. But he comes and he stands right in front of that guy who's in second row. Okay? Second row. And that was my spot. I even said, Swami, I was supposed to be there. How come you're there now? You shouldn't do that, Swami. Are you playing games with me? He was there 10 minutes. He was all over that boy. He's in second row, but like he's taking letters and he's talking to people. And literally the robe was all over, even in the second row of that guy. I said, oh my God, that would have been me. Why did I pray like that, Swami? Why did you make me pray? Because you make me think every time and I get in trouble. After 10 minutes, he turns around. Guess what? He looks straight at me like that. And he starts running away. And I shouted, Swami, don't do that. Swami, come, please, I'm leaving tomorrow. And what does the divine, merciful Sai Baba do? He comes, walks up to me, picks me up from that first row. He does that to my back and he says, go, Ma, go, I'll always be with you. That is the mercy of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. See, this slide that Tamish is showing you is in Purnachandra Auditorium. Swami is looking at me. This picture was taken by Dr. Phil Harvey and he gave it to me. He said, you'll really love it. And there was something going between you and Sai, so I took that picture. So that's how I got this picture. Now, once Dr. Singh's wife, Dhanaji, had a very bad headache. So she was crying and she was in the first row. So Swami came and Swami, I have a very bad headache, please help me. And Swami said to her in Hindi, Mar jao, means die. And she went home, she's crying and missed the whole next darshan. And Baba asked Dr. Singh, where is your wife? Swami, you told her Mar jao and die. So she's crying and she says, Baba doesn't love me, he's told me to die. So then Swami said, hey, tell her, what is she talking about? I said, Mar jao to her headache. I said, die to the headache. So Baba plays like that. He went back. He told Dr. Singh told Dhanaji, she was on cloud 9. Next day, Sai Ram, Swami, Sai Ram. And Swami, you know how he plays games. Then in one humorous interview, Dr. Singh was sitting in the last row, and there was a Chinese group in the front. So you know how Baba wants to make everybody laugh. So as he makes people laugh, what happens is he goes like that, sing, sing. He's saying to Dr. Singh, sing. And the Chinese devotees thought Baba is saying, sing. So they started singing, Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Baba said, no, sing, sing. So they thought he doesn't like Ganesha Bhajan. He says, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then Baba gets up and he said, no, Dr. Singh. And then Dr. Singh comes forward. Everybody laughs. This is how Baba makes everybody laugh in the interview. You had that second slide, if you can show that. Yeah, this was like, I was in the front and that's the cameraman in the back. And what had happened was this American photographer had come during the super specialty hospital opening, and the hospital was not ready. So he said to me, Jim, can you help me? I want to just go and look what's it inside. Nobody was allowed. And I said, but they won't let you in. He said, no, but you are Indian. They might let you in. I said, okay, follow me. As I went forward, guess what happens? We hear a big noise. Who told you to come here? Get out of here, or I'll get you thrown away. Save and I'll throw them out. I said, my God, how can anybody talk like that? He was a big doctor. And if he doesn't talk like that, people are not going to listen. So he had to be really tough on us. But we came out, I was hurting. How can anybody throw me out like that? And as we walked, there was a conference happening there. And so we went and sat there, and Dr. Victor Kanu, if you know, he made an announcement from out of the blue. Swami has picked the Canadian head photographer and the assistant American videographer to do the first open heart surgery film in the super specialty hospital. And I said, hey, that's us. That's us. We were so happy. But the guy said, yeah, but still we won't be allowed. Hey, Indulal Shah, can you go and ask him? If I go, I don't think I'll get it. I said, don't think like that. I'll ask him. I said, you come behind me. So I did pranam to Indulal Shah, and I said, sir, I'm from Canada. And Dr. Victor Kanu just announced Baba wanted me and my assistant videographer to take the first video of the open heart surgery. So he said, oh, yes, of course, no problem. And he gave us 2 passes. One was the main photographer, one was the assistant photographer. So I gave him the assistant one, and then we are walking, and he said, wait a minute, give me the other one. I'm the main guy. So then I put the assistant, and now we are going into the super specialty hospital. As we are going, guess what happened? Suddenly we heard that big tiger-like roaring sound. Who told you to come here? Get out of here! And we turned, and I said, Swami, I told him, Swami, sir, Baba has picked me and my assistant to take the video of the first open heart surgery. See, this is our badge. Immediately went, oh, Sairam, please come, please come. He was head over, he was falling all over us. Please come. He took us where the doctors that were having lunch, and immediately took us in. He said, serve them food. So the guy starts serving us. My God, we were royalty just because of the badge, and Baba said so. And before, we were thrown out. And rightfully, he was doing his duty, because if he doesn't do his duty, he's out of there. So what happens is, then the doctor says to the guy, give him a Fanta orange. I said, sir, I don't drink Fanta. I like Gold Spot. He said, there was no Gold Spot, so he sends them in the city to get it. Can you believe that? Who would do that? When Baba said, I pick you, everything works. So now what happens is, I had a sure interview because it was our Zoroastrian New Year. And the head of our Zoroastrian party said, Jimmy, tomorrow don't leave anywhere. Baba has promised us an interview for all the Parsis. I was saying, oh my God, that will be my 3rd interview this time. And I was counting my eggs like that. And what had happened when Baba materialized his pendant for me, I had put on a silver chain, and the silver chain had become all black, and my pendant turned black. So that day itself in Darshan line, I showed it to Baba, Swami, your pendant turned black. He said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And as I come out, the Parsi gentleman met me and says, tomorrow we are getting an interview. Now look at Baba's test. I had come with Dr. Singh and his family. So obviously, suddenly Dr. Singh says, Jim, I need your help. I said, anything for you, Dr. Singh. Tomorrow, I want you to come with me to Bangalore. I want to buy some wood. I said, tomorrow? How about day after? He said, no, tomorrow. Oh, can we go another day? He said, no, tomorrow. And so here I have to give up my interview. I prayed to Baba and said, Swami, you said work is worship and duty is God. I'm going to give up my interview. That's what my heart says. I don't like it, but I won't go against you, Swami. That afternoon, we go to Bangalore. We stay in a hotel. I'm in another room. They're in another room. I'm crying. I look at my pendant is black, and I look at the pendant and talk to him. Swami, did I do the right thing? This pendant, you said you'd take care of it. And now I'm going to miss the interview with the Zoroastrian. Swami, why, Swami, why? But it's okay. I surrender to you, Swami. And I cried myself to sleep. Morning when I got up to pray to Baba again, oh Lord, I am born now from the womb of sleep. I'm determined to carry out all tasks this day as offerings to thee. And as I'm praying, I saw that my pendant was brand new. All the blackness had gone. And I immediately knew Baba was happy with my sacrifice, my tyaga. Because tyaga or renunciation leads to moksha. So when we go back the next day to Puttaparthi, all the Zoroastrians were really taunting me. He said, what is the matter with you? Baba was looking for you. He created laddus, he created japamalas, he created vibhuti. He was looking for you everywhere. Why did you go? I said, I had to buy some wood. They said, are you mad? I said, don't put salt on my injury, okay? Just leave me alone. And Baba was happy. Because then I heard that Baba is flying to Hyderabad next day. So I said, I will ask Swami if I can fly with him. So what happened was Baba was coming, and in my Parsi language, Gujarati language, I spoke very, very fast. Very fast I spoke, and I said, Swami, hu tamari sathe Hyderabad plane ma aun ke. Means, can I come with you to Hyderabad in the plane? And he answered in Gujarati, and I said, Haji aao, means come. And immediately, that very minute after the darshan, I go without eating, drinking anything, packed a little bit, and I went to Bangalore. And I went and saw the airport manager. His name was Dr. John, Mr. John. I said, sir, I want to fly with God. Please, can you help me? He said, what? What did you say? I said, I want to fly with God. He says, what are you talking about? I said, Satya Sai Baba. Oh, Satya. Oh, yes, he's flying tomorrow. Okay. I'll tell you what. You come and tell me all about Baba, and then I'll make sure you sit in the front with him. I said, wow. So I told him 1 hour, burned all my energy. After that, he's telling me, guess what? You just go and stand near the window, ticket window. It was 9 o'clock at night. And he says, immediately what will happen is when he opens the window, you tell him you want to sit with Satya Sai Baba. But I said, sir, you told me I can sit next to him. He says, yeah, you can tell the guy. I said, oh my God, what a deal. So I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, but 9 o'clock, I stand like that, and there are bars, and it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and now the Westerners are coming. And the whole area is filled with Westerners. They came to know Baba is flying. So what happens is, when Baba is flying, so now it's 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? And the window opens. And I was so exhausted, I hadn't eaten anything. So all of a sudden the window opens, and I said, he says, where do you want to sit? I said, I want to sit next to Satya Sai Baba. He said, there's nobody like that. Where do you want to sit? I said, is there a Kutumbarao? He said, no. Jogarao? He said, no, just tell me where you want to sit. And I just pointed like that in the front. And it was 3B, and Baba was 3A, just opposite me. Later on, I found out. And so I took my boarding pass, but I didn't want to board the plane because how can you go back? How can you board the flight before Baba? So I waited outside with my boarding card. The luggage was up, all the Westerners were up, and the people said, why aren't you going? And he says, I can't go before the Sai Baba. He says, you're mad, because he comes in his Mercedes Benz, and then he'll board the plane and you will miss the flight. I said, I can't go before him. He's Bhagwan. So all of a sudden, in this picture, he's telling Jogarao about me. He's telling, look at that crazy guy. He's sitting down I was sitting on the floor because I wanted to see him and adore him. He was calling me crazy, and it's a compliment, trust me. So what happens is I see the Mercedes come, so I run. As I run, the police arrest me. And I said, why are you arresting me? I have a boarding card. So why didn't you go? Kyun nahi gaya pehle? He was telling me, why didn't you go before in Hindi? I said, because I was a little late. He said, okay, and they escorted me. And then Swami got down from the car and he looks at me angrily. I said, oh my God, I hope I didn't break any code of conduct. And so what happened was, then Swami, in this picture inside, this is my wife, Zareen. She's offering supari to Baba and Baba takes it. And so what happens is, Baba is climbing up the plane. He picks up his robe. You could see his legs. Honestly, they're Ardhanarishwar. Beautiful women's leg. Fair and, face might be a little dark, but his feet are like white, like a goddess, Parvati. And I'm walking right behind him. I'm so scared that he might turn and say, what are you doing? He goes up and all the stewardesses and all the pilots bow down to him. And he creates vibhuti for all of them. And then all of a sudden then Baba goes, he turns towards me and he said, sit down. I got so scared, I sat down. Now the plane doors were closed and fasten your seat belts, Baba. Our plane takes off. And then the stewardess comes and asks Swami, sir, what can I get you? He says, nothing. And he looks at me because mine was the next turn. And says, sir, what can I get you? I was starving like a horse, but I can't eat because he cannot eat. He's not eating. How can I eat? It would look so bad. So I just like Baba. And then Swami looked at me, what is this crazy guy doing? But I was hungry and I said, no, I'm not going to eat. I didn't board without him going ahead. How can I eat before he eats? Now, the test was the guy sitting next to me ordered breakfast. And he opens his plate and the smell of dosa and rasgulla and chutney and all, and I almost passed out, but I kept looking at him while he was eating, just like when a dog looks at you when you are eating. So, but of course, Baba saw my pain and he called me. And I said, he said, hey, that bakery Amma, is she related to you? I said, what, Swami? Just through the heart. He said, oh, Sai family? I said, yes, Swami. And he slapped me. Swami is very happy when we live as Sai family. We are brothers and sisters, souls. So then I said, Swami, before I go, can I tell you something? He said, yes, Ma, tell me. I said, Swami, I've been practicing something in Telugu. Can you accept it? He said, yes, go ahead. And I said, Swami, Ninnu Nenu Premastunnanu. Means in Telugu, I learned very difficult, right? I said, Swami, I love you. And he was so happy. 25, 30,000 feet, he got up and he's wiping his face and he's saying, he knows my language. He's standing up, of course. I don't want to stand up. I'll go above you, scream. But he knows my language. He knows my language. Just one word and he was so happy. I said, I got to sing Telugu bhajans. He'll be very happy. So naturally what happened was, then he says, go mine, now go and sit, very happy. And I said, Swami, can I kiss your feet? And I held his feet and I kissed them. I said, I wish this flight was 14 hours like Canada to Bombay. But it was 1 hour, 45 minutes. And I went and sat. But then before going, I said, Swami, I don't know anybody in Hyderabad. Can you help me? He said, don't worry, I'll help you. Now, when the plane stops, all of a sudden, what happens was one man, he was abusing Swami, very bad words. And Swami was like a little deer, he didn't want to offend that guy because that's what he's trying to tell us. Hate not the sinner, but the sin. See the God suffering in that man who's attacking you. And he exemplified that. Even though he was saying bad words, he just stood there, smiled. But my ego went out of proportion and I said, look, if he doesn't want, you'll never fly again. And Baba said, shh, don't hurt him like that. I said, but Swami is, no, shh. And he kept on saying, I don't care if you're God or a saint, but I don't want you to go before me. I'm getting down first. But lo and behold, law of karma, when the plane stopped, I don't even know how that guy who was attacking Swami was thrown in the back of the tail. And his hair was messed up, his clothes were, as devotees must have done it, but it happened at the speed of light. So then, when I got down, the whole airport was empty. Why? Because all of a sudden, what happens? It's empty because all the Westerners took off. They paid 1,000, 1,200 rupees a day. I had come for 4 months. How can I afford that much? And I said, Swami, you told me you will help me, but now the whole airport is empty. Then suddenly I heard a voice behind me. I turned out there was a South Indian lady. She said, are you a devotee of Swami? I said, no, ma'am, I'm trying to be a devotee. You know, it's not easy to say I'm a devotee. To devotee means you're totally surrendered. At that point, I wasn't. So she said, do you have any accommodation? I said, no, ma'am. She says, I have 2 bungalows. And if you don't do any hanky-panky, you can stay in one bungalow, I'll stay in another. I said, no hanky-panky, ma'am. I knew Baba had arranged it. So I went and stayed with her. In one bungalow, she stayed, I stayed. On Ugadi Day, they gave me kurta pajamas. They were sending food to me. I was getting rides to darshan. When Swami says, I'll take care of you, he means that. But you got to have utmost faith in Swami that he is my mother, father, friend, beloved, and he has become me, so he will guide me. Then, once Swami gave me a dream. I'm going to go fast because there are many experiences, and it will be Suprabhatam by the time I finish, so I don't want to take your time. So I'm going to go forward. I had a dream in which there was a gold bowl, and Swami was there, but there was a gold bowl with letters A to Z, and they were going up, 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 and it spelled Japam, J-A-P-A-M. I knew he wanted me to do Japam. In the interview, when I went to Puttaparthi next time, Swami said, this is how you do Japam. He took the Japamala and he said, these are the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, pure, passionate, and dull. You have to put your Japamala on it. This is Swami, this is Jimmy, he said. And you have to show that you want to merge with Swami. So you pull with both hands towards you. Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram. And you have to feel it. I want to be one with you, Swami. Om Shri Sai Ram. Not Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram. Throw the mala and then eat your breakfast. He said that. He said slow. And then he said, when you come to the end, Om Shri Sai Ram, don't cross it. Don't go over. Turn it around and you'll have more power that way. Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram. And I was so grateful to him. And he also, what he did was, I was alone with him in the personal interview. He turned to me and he was singing, my life is my message, expansion is my love, no reason for love, no season. The whole bhajan he sang to me without music, just on that audience. And I was so grateful to him. Actually, in one interview, Shirdi Ma, the Podabotu, was in the interview. And she was telling us, this is Krishna, believe me, you know, in Hindi. And then Baba says, hey, Krishna, mere paas to murli bhi nahi hai. How can I be Krishna? I don't have a murli. And he was joking. I'm going to get Shirdi Ma married to Joga Rao. He was joking. And she was laughing. But then she told us, this is Krishna, he's very nutcut, he's very naughty. This is Krishna, believe me. When I first came, he would be talking to me, and then all of a sudden he would vanish and come from behind and touch me. I'd turn around, I'd see him, and he'd vanish and he'd come from behind and touch me. This is Krishna, this is Krishna. She kept on saying that. One time, I was running after Swami's car, okay? And Swami doesn't like us to run after his car, and he wanted to teach me a lesson. The car was coming towards the round building, And I was running and running and running, and Swami lowered his window and said, slow, slow, slow. I said, Swami, I love you. Swami, I'm yours. Swami, I'm yours. I love you. He said, yeah, slow, slow, slow. And I didn't realize the students were coming with a rope and they knocked me down. They don't, if anybody is in the way, they'll knock you down because they don't want you to come close to Swami. And rightfully, that they are right. The students are always right because they are protecting Swami. Those were the instructions given by Swami, and they're doing their dharma. And I was not unconscious. I went out of consciousness. I could just barely remember. But look at my blessing. And the Sevadals were saying, oh, he's unconscious, he's unconscious, he's unconscious. But one Sevadal, he didn't have a deodorant, underarm deodorant. It was smelling, and that got me back into consciousness. And then he said, sit down, sit down. I said, no, 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 no. And I ran again to Baba's car. I caught up my slipper broke. He rolled the window down and he said, slow down, slow down. I said, Swami, I love you. Swami, I love you. And then the car went away. So sometimes, if somebody doesn't use a deodorant, it works in your favor. I got second version. It sounds funny, but it's true. Now, Sai Datta, if you remember, he was a photographer of Swami in those days. And he told me on my last day, you're going back to Canada. And he would let me take pictures of Baba. I was his assistant at close. Whenever I was there, I was in the front with him. So on my last day, he thanked me and he says, Jimmy, I want to tell you something. You are going to Mumbai, right? And you're going to be there how many days? I said 2 days. Well, you go into the bazaar or with your relatives, you'll get involved in Maya. Instead, why don't you go and see this saint? I said, I don't have to see a saint. I've met Baba. Why should I see a saint? He said, no, 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 no. He's a very evolved being. And Baba appears to him. Jesus appears. Zoroaster appears. Krishna appears to him. And he's a very humble guy. So he said, but I've met Baba. Do I have to go? He says, Jimmy, you'll be there only 2 days. Meet him, no? See, at that time, my wife had left. My wife rightfully had left me because I had so much love for Swami, she couldn't handle that. And what had happened was she had told me that if you go to see Swami, I'll leave you. And that's how she had left me. So I was in a lot of pain, of course, because I'm still deluded. So then I went to see this saint anyways, with my cousin, who is a great devotee of Shirdi Baba. O.C., his name is O.C. And we knocked on the door. The door was open and a short man with Rudraksha mala all over him. He had a mark here, red vermilion mark here. His eyes were in eternity. And he said, get in. So I said, my God, why is he talking so rudely? Is this the right place though? And he said, yeah, that's the right place. So he got us in, he shut the door, and there's pictures of gods and goddesses, Baba, everywhere, even on the ceiling. And then he said, I know why you have come. I said, my wife left and I have a lot of pain. He says, yes, I know. But I want to tell you why she left you. He says, in your last life, you were with Shirdi Baba. You were a sannyasi. For 18 years, you lived with Shirdi Baba. And then this woman comes with her mother. I said, same mother? He said, doesn't matter. And you were infatuated with her beauty and you wanted to marry her and you went to ask permission from Shirdi Baba. Shirdi Baba tried to ignore you for 2-3 days and you didn't listen. So Shirdi Baba just said, go. So you took that as a yes and you married her. In 1 month, you realized your mistake. And you said, Mother, please forgive me. This is not my path. So that's why she had to give you this pain and leave you. Now it's all neutralized. Don't mess up. Again. So then I said, I have one more question. He says, yeah, I know you are going to ask me one question. I said, please, sir, tell me if with my bhakti, my devotion, I'm pleasing Satya Sai Baba. That's all I want to know. He said, yesterday just Satya Sai Baba came and he took his robe out and he ripped his chest like Hanuman. And blood was oozing out. And I saw devotees' faces, many devotees. And you were one of them. And he said, tomorrow, Jimmy Patel is coming from Canada. He will come and see you. So he knew everything. So then I did pranam and I said, I don't have any more questions. Now, one time I was in, again, Whitefield, and Baba's photographer comes running to me. This guy was a Parsi guy, Keki Mistry, you know. And he said, Jimmy, Baba is going to stand on your hands today. I said, my God. So I took my ring out thinking that it will be crushed. Little did I know. I put my hands, Baba comes, he stands completely on my hands. So my hands are like that, and he stands and he's leaning on me, his robe is touching. And he keeps telling me, very happy with you. I'm very pleased with you. I said, I know you're happy with me. Can you keep me with me? Please, Swami, don't send me back in Maya. Very happy with you. I'm very pleased with you. I said, I know, but please, can I stay with you? Very happy. I'm very pleased with you. Blessed me, and he left. Now, you know, the people in India, you know, they're a little bit crazy. They started kissing my hands after darshan, and the volunteer said, sir, you run, otherwise you'll lose your hands. So I ran and I washed my hands because it was all over my hands. And of course, they did it out of devotion, but I needed to clean my hands, you know, really good. Now, this is what happened. In Oakville, it was my brother's birthday. So my mother says, we have to go to the party. I said, Mommy, I don't go to parties. I only go to Sai parties. She said, don't do that. Didn't Baba tell you do your duty? Yeah, that's your brother. I said, okay, Mama, we'll go. And then I went, and I was constantly chanting Baba's name, you know. And then my brother was so kind, and his wife is an angel. She told me, can you stay over at our house? It was at Oakwood. I said, okay, overnight, one night, okay. I was sleeping in the basement. My mom was on the other side. And middle of the night, I clearly saw my body rise, but my body was down. It was my astral body. And I saw a light in the corner in the basement. And Satya Sai Baba was there sitting with his students all around. And he went, come. And I went, I kneeled down, and then he touched me. He said, hey, in this life, I cannot keep you with me. But when I come as Prema Sai, you'll always be with me. Oh my God. And then I did like that, and I found myself in my bed. I always record my darshan. It was so real. So now from Puttaparthi Japa, I'm doing Gunaparthi. That if Prema Sai. Oh yeah. So now there's another flight when we are going to Madras Bombay. And my wife offers Supari to Baba, he takes it. And then me and my wife asked Swami, can we keep our daughter in your school? He says, yes, we go to Puttaparthi, I talk, I give you interview, and we talk. True to his words, on Shivaratri, not the night when the bhajan started at 6, but in the morning, he calls me, my wife, my mother, and my daughter Firoza in the interview room. And Swami immediately asks Firoza, where is your brother? And he was not born yet. So he looks at my Zareen and says, have a son. And she said, no, Baba, one girl, enough problem. He said, hey. And then he looked at me and said, what did she tell you 5 years ago when this daughter was born in the delivery room? Did she not say, oh, I wish I had a son? I said, yes, Swami. And she looks, how does he know? He remembers 5 years ago what we talked in the labor room. So I said, Swami, don't worry. We'll have a son for you. And I said, Zari, he's Deva, he's God. We got to have a son. Don't worry, Swami, we'll have a son. And Swami was so happy. And he said, then he promised us, first your son will be born, then your daughter will come to my school. Son was born on Diwali day. Okay? Count, I'm not good in math. From Shivratri to Diwali, it's 9 months. My daughter was born on Guru Purnima day. When my daughter was ready for grade 1, we went to Puttaparthi hoping to put her in Baba's school. There were 2,000 applications and only 29 students were to be taken. So Zareen said, oh, we'll never stand a chance. I said, but Baba's word is God. He has told us he will take first son will be born and daughter will come to your school. She's ready for grade 1. Let's go. So I went and talked to the head Miss Auntie. And I had head principal. So Swami had told us my son will be born in the daughter. He said, yeah, I know. Swami told us yesterday that you are coming. So you just bring her bags. She was taken. She didn't have to write a test. 28 people had to write a test. Baba's word is God's words. Truth, Satya. And she got it. And just 2 Christmases away, my daughter, student of Baba, passed away. And then when I went to Puttaparthi last November, I met with head Miss Auntie. Story of 15 years ago. I said, Head Miss Auntie Firoza has passed away. She started crying, my Firoza, my Firoza. And I said, yes, Auntie. I had tears in my eyes too because she had so much love for Firoza. And I said, but can you help me understand this? When we came, you took her right away in. Can you tell me what was the conversation with Baba? She says, yes, I can tell you. Baba told us that Jimmy Patel is coming with his wife and bringing his daughter Firoza. You don't ask any questions, just take her in. That's why I could take you in. So before even we went, he had already told the headmistress, this is the power of God. Who else can do that? Then when I left back for Canada, my daughter Firoza was missing me, the father. So in darshan, she was very sad. So Baba came to her and says, why are you so sad? She says, Swami, I miss my daddy. Will he come on Christmas? Baba looked at her and says, if he doesn't come, see what I do to him. And she told me that later. And here I'm feeling in Canada, I have to go back. But I went 3 months ago, I have to go back. 6 months ago I had gone. I stayed there for a while and then I came back. And now why do I want to go back? The urge was very strong. And this is how he works. He works through you, forces you to do something that he wants. And I call everywhere, but it was December 2nd. Christmas time, everything sold out. Only one lady, Jaya Travels, in Detroit, she had a ticket, but she says it'll be over $2,000 US. I said, I'll take it. And I took it and I went. So this is the power of Satya Sai Baba. I just wanted you to know. So how much time do I have, Tamish? First 5 minutes you took time, right?
5 minutes. Yeah, well, yeah.
Good. Okay. So you're giving me extra 5. Thank you so much.
You can take 10 minutes, Uncle. That's 10 minutes.
Thank you.
we love to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Saira.
Okay. Now, my wife, she was a great devotee of Baba, but later on, first she said, what happens? Why is it that all the devotee ladies of Windsor, Ontario are getting dreams of Baba? I don't get any dream. They're going to Puttaparthi. We can't afford it. I said, don't worry. Why don't you put a little picture, this picture under your pillow and sleep with saying, Om Shri Sai Ram, come into my dreams. Om Shri Sai Ram, Baba, come into my dreams. Om Shri Sai. Fall asleep with that thought. And she is a very spiritual woman. Even my teacher, Yogacharya Oliver Black, who's a great master, direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. He loved Sai Baba. And he always spoke highly of Sai Baba. So what happened was, even Yogacharya Oliver Black loved Zareen, my wife, very much. Even Satya Sai Baba would give his hands and she would kiss it for 10 minutes when he was talking in the personal interview with me. And he's telling me all my faults, but they don't belong to me, they belong to her. But he won't tell her that. And then he will even say, in Hindi, he says, oh, tum aapki bibi ka nahi sunta, value nahi karta. I says, Swami, aisa kyun bolte hai, jhagda ho jayega. She says, Swami, what did you tell him? I said, nothing. Swami said, bolo na, usko bolo na. I said, nahi, Swami, jhagda ho jayega. Are bolo na, hum hai na, tum vishwas nahi karta, you don't have faith in me. I said, but Swami, there'll be a fight, you don't, aisa kyun karta jhagda? She said, nahi, bolo. She says, what Swami, what do you want him to tell me? See, she understands. She knows Gujarati, so Hindi is not hard. I said, well, Swami is saying I don't value you. She got up in the darshan room and says, Swami, you're right. Swami, he doesn't listen to me. He's not. Even in the ashram, she fought whole day. And Swami is enjoying that and we are affected. This is how Swami works. So, I'm just trying to think, where was I? Where was I? Okay, so, why are we not going to India? And so, middle of the night she had put the picture, middle of the night she wakes up. She said, Jim, get up. I had Swami came here, he gave me a dream. I said, but can you tell me in the morning? It's 2 o'clock. She said, no, you must. And she turned all the lights on, write down what I say. I said, my God. So Swami said, at the end of this month, your husband will get a reward from Ford Motor Company and you'll come to see me at the Third World Conference. I said, oh my God. I said, oh my God, I will lose my sleep over it. I wrote down everything. And early morning, we started packing up bags. It was 4th of October, you know. Third World Conference starts around 10th of November. But we didn't have the money to buy the tickets. So again, I called Jaya Travels. And I said, look, I'm supposed to get a reward. Can you book me and my wife to go to India? She says, yeah, but where's the money? It's all gone. The tickets are gone. I said, please, can you not save too? He says, look, I'll wait, but if somebody comes, I'll give up the tickets. I says, yeah, but please. I'm going to get a reward, Baba. And told me, he says, okay, forget it. Now, what happens is 10th of October, I call my Zareen, lunchtime. Did you get the reward? I said, no, you won't get it. I said, what did he say? End of the month, didn't he say that? End of the month, your husband will get a reward. She said, yeah. 26th October, I called back. Did you get a reward? No. I said, don't be disappointed, Zareen. Dreams are real. Last date, October 31st. My bell rings. Work is finished. And I'm washing my hands and tears come down. I said, Swami, how could you say dreams are real? Where is the truth of that? My wife has so much hopes on you. You could have got her on board. She's a great devotee. Swami, why? And I'm crying. As I'm crying, somebody touched me here. I turned around, it was my big boss. He says, you better get in. So I said, oh, wait a minute, did I leave my job early? Is he gonna fire me? Am I gonna get suspended? I wiped my hands and I started touching the pendant always when I'm in trouble. Swami saved me, what did I do wrong? And little did I know. I went in the office, he says, Mr. Patel, you better sit down. Because what I tell you, you'd want to sit down. Remember, you put a suggestion award in 1975. And we have accepted the suggestion. Congratulations, you're getting a car and $6,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dreams are real. Let me call Zareen. I called her from the canteen. Guess what, Zareen? Oh, you didn't get it. No, I got it. Oh, you got it? It's Jai Saram, Jai Saram. I said, now you're saying Jai Saram? But, even I doubted, so I didn't blame her. So then we went and Swami gave us such beautiful interviews. He created Vibhuti for Zareen and said, why fear when I'm here? He told her that. And so this was a direct experience. Even once I arrived in Puttaparthi for 4 months, and I'm very excited, first interview. And first day, Swami says, when are you leaving? I said, Swami, I just came. He says, leave tomorrow. My God, Swami, I just leave tomorrow. He's angry. So I go to my room, I start packing, I'm crying. Whole night I didn't sleep. My eyes were filling up with, literally red eyes. So in the morning, in those days, we could take our luggage right to the darshan line. So I took my luggage there and I had a big garment. Swami came, he looked at me and I said, Swami, this is for you. He took it, he put it around his neck and took it out. I said, Swami, I'm leaving not because I want to go, but I don't want to go against your word. Swami, I love you. As I said that, he said, wait. He kept me 4 months. It was a test. If I would have said, no, I'm not leaving, and if I would hide in the room he would have got the Sevadal and thrown me out on the Chitravati road. But he didn't do that because he kept me. So whenever, like Swami has even hit me, you know, Swami has scolded me and hit me, bang, like that. So probably my association with him in Shirdi Sai, you know, that's what he was always giving it to people. So then what happened was, I said, Swami, can you give me Shirdi Baba Darshan? He says, yes, I'll give you Shirdi Baba Darshan. He blessed me. So what happened was, I was sleeping in my Puttaparthi room, and suddenly I noticed a blue light. And I said, but there's no blue light, and I closed all light. Now I'm getting up physically, and I see Shirdi Baba with Kafni Chola alive, and he's pointing to me. He says, oh, devotee of Krishna, why are you worried? I'm always with you now. And ping, he vanishes. And I said, oh my God, I couldn't sleep. I got first row. I started saying, Swami, thank you for Shirdi Baba Darshan. He came close, very happy. He gave me another darshan of Shirdi Baba, and this was the picture. This was a big picture in my Puttaparthi room. He's sitting like that, and all of a sudden he moves his eyes. And I said, Shirdi Baba, you are Sakshatkar present. He goes like that, and he walks right out of the picture. Touches me, I could feel him. And then there was a tray I brought from South Indian canteen. It had rasam sambar. Because it was late and I wouldn't be able to allow to sit too long, so I thought I'd bring it and I'll eat in peace. And he said, who brought that? I said, Swami, I did. You're not supposed to bring. I said, I'm sorry, I was hungry. He picked up the tray, he did my aarti light, and threw the remnants of the rasam and sambar out of the window. And I said, Swami, can you bless me? Can you bless my mother? Can you bless my son? And he blessed us all. And so the vision was gone. In the morning, I went to the bazaar and bought this picture. And I got first row, darshan line, I was going like that. I said, Swami, thank you, Swami, for giving me Shirdi Baba darshan. He put his hand on it. He said, very happy. And he walked away. Then the third, I'm going to tell you two more darshans, then I'll end. So the third darshan of Shirdi Baba was such that, you know, when I talk so much, I need water, sorry. So Shirdi Baba comes in my Puttaparthi room and he gives me $1 bill. And I didn't know the meaning, and the vision ended. And when I went back to my hometown in Pune, because now I'm going to board the next day the flight to Canada, I'm walking on one of the streets where I live, and there I see my shoe shine boy from childhood, and he recognizes me after 5 years in Canada. He hugs me and cries, Jimmy Baba, Jimmy Baba. They call everybody Baba there. And he started crying, and I said, don't cry, you can shine my shoes. I had 1,500 rupees in my right pocket. I took it out, and he says, here, you keep that, you shine my shoes. And he was crying, Jimmy Baba, Jimmy Baba. I said, no, you just shine my shoes now. You are good job. And as I had my 1 foot from the masjid, I saw there was a masjid and Shirdi Baba was walking towards me. I said, my God, Shirdi Baba. And he was clean shaven. He looked 45. He had that big nose, just like Shirdi, and Satya Sai Baba had the same nose. And he comes and he walks straight in front of me. And I'm speechless. Shirdi Baba. I said, Shirdi Baba, I gave all 1,500 rupees for him to shine my shoe. I don't have anything for Dakshina. But wait, Shirdi Baba, wait. And I have $1 bill. I didn't know that. And he takes it from my hand. And he was gone. My God. Then I realized he had given me $1 bill. He came to take it from me. Oh my God. Then the final darshan was, I was in Nasik one time. And my brother, Parvez, very dear brother of mine, and Zarina, they said, Jimmy, you can, my driver will take you to Shirdi tomorrow. I was very happy because I longed for that, because in 2 days I'll be flying back to Canada. So what happened is, then suddenly last minute he said, I can't let him drive you to Shirdi. He'll drive you to Pune. Then you ask your uncle and he'll take you to Shirdi. So I felt very bad, so close yet so far away, Shirdi Baba. I'm sorry, but I'll try to come. In Pune, my uncle said, I'm sorry, I'm busy. So I'm so heartbroken because next day I'm flying. So I walk out of my colony, make a right turn, and Shirdi Baba is walking straight towards me. kafni, jholi, everything. And I bow down, I kiss Baba, Baba, and he blesses me. And I put my hand in and to give him dakshina, and 6 rupees I get out. And I says, Shri Baba, please accept this as dakshina. He said, Tero, means wait. And he put his hand in the joli and takes out a big apple. Now, I was not good in math, but I knew I gave him only 6 rupees. That looks like a 10 rupee apple. So I put my right hand in my right pocket and I pulled out again 6 rupees. As I said, Swami, take this too. He had said Tero again. And he goes, he says, Dwarka Mai ki dhuni, prashad lo. And dhuni from Dwarka Mai, and those little balls of sweet balls with chana and all, he gives it to me. And he blesses me. And I kiss his feet. Thank you, Baba, thank you. And I see him go and he disappears, he's gone. And I move forward and there's a cart, there's a guy who has the same apples. I says, Bhai Sahab, ye kahan se aaya? I mean, where did this come from? I told the street vendor. He said, Are, ek fakir aaya tha, hamesha aata hai. And usne 10 rupees deke ye apple kharida. He comes here occasionally and he gave me 10 rupees and he bought this apple. So I knew it. He knew before that he was going to meet me. I was far away. And that's how Shirdi Baba blessed me. I deeply appreciate your opportunity to let me speak about my experiences to you. I pray to Baba that he blesses all his devotees. And like I said, take it in the right spirit. Don't think that this, oh, it's beautiful, beautiful, and not forget what I told you. Remember, he's God. He knows in and out who you are, and finish it, because after the Prema Sai avatar, for 60,000 years, there won't be an avatar like this. Jai Shri Sai Ram. Thank you, Tamish. You took so much trouble, and blessed are your parents, your brothers. Sai Ram, everybody.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Jai Sai Ram, Jai Shri Guru.
Unmute yourself, brother.
Saram Uncle, this is Vijay from Rochester, and it's my pleasant duty to thank you and everyone here. First of all, thank you, Swami. You know, without your blessing, Swami, nothing is possible. Not even a blade of grass moves, and we know that. And thank you, Swami, for showing to all of us somebody who has been with you, was with you, and is going to be with you. What a beautiful blessing to have a devotee of Shirdi Baba, Satya Sai Baba, and Prema Sai Baba all in one, and to see. And this is and the Swami is sending us a message that there is some connection we have had with Swami, and we are going to have with Swami forever. You know, and that is a beautiful message, Uncle, you have given us. Thank you so much for taking such a lot of time from your precious time and sharing with us all your beautiful stories. You have gone without food and drink for days just for your crazy love for Swami. You know, we bow to that love you have for Swami, and because of your crazy love for Swami, you know, your true crazy pure love for Swami, you were able to dissociate from the world and still be in the world. You know, this is and you say this in a very easy and funny way. You know, this is not easy. We all struggle with this duality, but in a very humorous way, in a very easy way, you've told us, just love Swami and just put everything else in the perspective. This is a great message you have given to us in such a humorous and simple way. Our salute to us, our salam to you for such a beautiful message you have given us. And we heard how you went without food and water, how you went running, fell into the hole, knocked out unconscious, still went for Swami as soon as you wake up. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, you know, what you've done for your love. And no wonder he opened his chest and showed you were right there. You know, that is not a wonder, because your love for Swami is so much, so you're so passionate, and that's the only thing, you know. So thank you for showing us the Swami inside you and helping us reflect that he's inside us also. And we thank you so much. Actually, today, when we are doing mic testing at 2 o'clock, I was in the middle of a big fight with my wife. Big argument, and you saved your mic check actually, and then you have given us so much instances for me to see Swami, especially in everyone, especially in the wife. So in our significant others or spouse. So Swami, this is best message, and I cannot thank Swami enough for sending you, and thank you again. And my most sincere pranams and thank you to Tamish and Suresh and everybody from Rochester Sai Center for bringing us this wonderful event with Jimmy Uncle. This is just precious. All what you have shared with us is precious. Thank you everybody from all over the world right now. Canada, Trinidad, Italy, and everybody. Uncle, you want to say something? Thank you, and I'll let you have last words. Yes.
I give full credit to my earthly mother, Kumi Patel, who was 94 yesterday, and my Divine Mother Sai for giving me this opportunity to meet people like you all. And I also thank Tamish and Suresh, the Rochester coordinator, and all the presidents and vice presidents and all the devotees there. I'm so blessed. Thank you. And we are meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes, thank you. So tomorrow, 3 o'clock to 3 to 3:30, Dr. Sunita Raidu, she's going to talk about the importance of service. She has a beautiful message for us. And then 3:30 to 5 o'clock, we'll have Uncle's experiences again, and with a message and how to deal with difficult times. Uncle, these are tough times.
The subject is, if we are made in the image of God, why do we suffer?
Why do we suffer? Exactly. This is a beautiful topic for now.
And Baba gave me the whole message. For 90 minutes, my pen wouldn't stop.
Thank you.
What to tell you all.
Yeah, because this is a beautiful message for the times where we are dealing with the pandemic and with social injustice and disturbances throughout the world. A well-needed message for all of us. And we started this program with 1 minute of silence for all these, to reflect on all these messages. So thank you again, Uncle. And then we will end tomorrow with the bhajans by all our centers together, put together by Brother Hiten Kimani in a very loving way. So thank you. Through 3 o'clock tomorrow, all of you. We'll love to see you all. And more, thank you again, Uncle. My most humble pranams to Swami, and thank you. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.